What's up guys, Jeremy here and welcome back to my channel. It has been a good minute since I posted my last video and I do want to apologize for that. As you all know, or maybe you don't know, but as of right now, real estate and the real estate market is on fire right now. And I have been getting a ton of clients who are looking to buy real estate here in Hawaii. You know, I wasn't gonna do it, but forget it, let's just do it. I'm gonna shamelessly plug myself. If you watching are looking to buy real estate here in Hawaii, go ahead and email me and I'd love to help you out. But in the last couple days, I've been busy just showing so many clients, so many homes. And honestly, even though I might be busy, all of it is so fun. Like my clients and I, we're having so much fun together looking at all these homes. Like all of this work, it honestly doesn't feel like work. And I started, thinking these past couple of days about my career, and I realized like, wow, it not only is it fun being a real estate agent, being a real estate broker, it is so much more fun being a real estate agent here in Hawaii. And that is what today's video is going to talk about. It's going to go over all the reasons why I love being a real estate agent here in Hawaii. But before we do that, I'm going to have to ask you to please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on all my other social media platforms as well. All right, so let's get started. Number one, why I love being a real estate agent here in Hawaii is one, the clothing. I'm sure you all know by now, by watching my videos, I kind of, dressed a little differently than compared to other real estate agents in the mainland. Being a real estate agent here in Hawaii is a little different. Our outfits and, our, style is a little more relaxed. And what I mean by that is like, we're not wearing, suit and ties every single day taking out our clients. We're not dressed as to how you would see, agents on $1 Million Listing on TV. I follow all those agents, on Instagram like Josh Flagg, Josh Altman, Ryan Serhan. I follow all those guys on social media and they're all, in $1,000 suit and ties and they're dressed to the nines, and it's just so crazy because here in Hawaii, we dress nothing like that. On the mainland, they're all dressed like that, and I totally understand. Maybe that's just how, the social norm is over there as far as, professionalism and, your style and what you wear. But over here in Hawaii, again, it's nothing like that. Am I saying that Hawaii has a lower standard of professionalism when it comes to clothing? Absolutely not. It's just we do things a little differently over here. So why are we like that? I'm not sure exactly why, because there could be a number of reasons. But the first reason that comes to mind when I think about wearing suits in Hawaii and why no one wears them is, big surprise, the weather. It's freaking humid over here. I mean, think about it. Hawaii, year round, our weather is about, 80 degrees all day, every single day. You think real estate agents want to take their clients around wearing full suit and ties in 80-degree weather? Absolutely not. I mean, I will say that, wearing a blazer and, suit and tie, I feel like an absolute boss, but, just wearing this every single day in 80-degree weather, it's not gonna happen here in Hawaii. I must say though, when I do wear a suit and, the suit and tie thing, I feel pretty cool. But honestly speaking, when I first started real estate, of course I'm gonna watch like, $1 Million Listing and all those kind of shows. And my perception of a real estate agent is that they're wearing suits and ties every single day. And then I started doing it here in Hawaii and I realized like no one else did it. The only time I can think of real estate agents wearing a suit and tie is just for their headshot. In fact, here's a picture of how I looked like at 19 years old when I first got my real estate license. I know, pretty embarrassing. And then I got more mature and grew up a little, and then here's my headshot now. However, to be honest, I have never, not once, ever wore a suit and tie to take out clients or meet clients. Ever. I mean, most of us here in Hawaii just don't do it. But if you are a real estate agent here in Hawaii and you do wear a suit and tie every day, well, props to you, man, because I could never do it, but you are probably sweating all the time, and I honestly hate sweating while I'm taking out clients. But again, props to you, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is here in Hawaii. Everyone is just chill. And that brings us to our next point. Number two, everyone is friendly. Well, mostly everyone. I've been in the real estate business for about 7 years now, which honestly, in the grand scheme of things, isn't really that long. But I will say that in those 7 years, I have met and, crossed paths with many different, professionals in the real estate industry. And out of all those people, I've probably come across maybe 2 or 3 bad agents. And when I say bad agents, they're only bad because maybe they didn't follow through with their word, or maybe their just response time just really sucked because they're just so busy. And maybe one of those bad agents was just kind of an asshole. For the most part, 99% of all the professionals I've met in the real estate industry, such as real estate agents, brokers, title and escrow people, loan officers, all of those people in between, the ones that I've worked with and met, they're just so awesome, really nice people, and for the most part, really cool people to do business with. I'm not exactly sure how it is in other parts of the country, but time to time, I would always hear these stories, these horror stories of these crazy or mean real estate agents. And after hearing those stories, it kind of makes me feel very happy and very lucky to be a real estate agent here in Hawaii. All right, so the next reason why I love being a real estate agent here in Hawaii is number 3, proximity. Everything is close and nearby. And the reason for that is, yes, you guessed it, we're on an island. I absolutely love how when it comes to, taking clients to showings from city to city, going out to dinner, doing errands, getting groceries, getting all of that stuff done is fairly easy because everything is, relatively close to everything. I mean, the island of Oahu is probably like 40 miles long. Actually, I don't even know. Let's Google it. All right, let's see, Google. Let's see, how wide? No, I know. What is the circumference of Oahu? Okay, there you go. Oahu is 44 miles long. See, I was right, kind of close. 30 miles wide and 112 miles around, and is the 3rd largest island in the Hawaiian island chains of 100, all of that stuff. Okay, so as you can see, Oahu is not that big. So Oahu is a small island, and as a real estate agent, that kind of makes our job a lot easier. I can't imagine, being a real estate agent in, let's say, California, where everything is far apart, and maybe I'd have to drive 1 to 2 hours away to do a showing for some clients. And if the clients were picky, then you'd be doing a lot of driving, and I just can't imagine doing all of that. Here in Hawaii, at most, some of my clients are looking maybe in 2 to 3 different cities, but in between those 2 to 3 different cities, they're pretty much all next to each other, and at most are anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 minutes away from each other. It's pretty awesome. All right, so next reason why I love being a real estate agent here in Hawaii is number 4, everyone knows everyone. Now, depending on who you are, this could be a very good thing or a very bad thing. But for me, it's a really great thing. For the most part, the people that are born and raised here, most people that I know usually tend to stay and, grow up here. I would say maybe 20% of the people I've met in my life end up moving away to Hawaii, and the other 80% stay to live here. And I honestly can't blame them because, well, we live in paradise. And since those 80% of people stay here and decide to, live their life here, we kind of, grow up with each other. And eventually when you meet new people on the island, someone will eventually know someone that you know. We're all kind of connected in some way. And I absolutely love this. It is because of this everyone knows everyone effect that I was able to build and scale my real estate business so fast. Through word of mouth, and because everyone knew everyone, I was able to get more clients through referrals. And it was because of those referrals, through word of mouth, social media, everyone knows everyone, those referrals turned into more referrals. Because everyone knows everyone. Now, before we get to the last part of this video, I do have to mention that if you are interested in building a real estate business and scaling it as fast as I did, I do have to give myself another shameless plug and mention to check out my Real Estate Rockstar Academy. It's a course about how to build and scale your real estate business into a successful 6-figure income extremely fast. In the course, I go over everything about real estate from A through Z, which includes networking, marketing, how to build a brand, how to leverage social media, and most importantly, build a real estate business based on referrals so that you never have to hunt for another client again. Instead, all the clients are coming to you. And that is how my business is ran now. I'll drop a link to that course in the description below, so if you're interested in doing that, go ahead and check it out. And if not, just continue watching. All right, back to the video. All right, so the last reason why I love being a real estate agent here in Hawaii is number 5, the pace of life and business. Now, this one is a little hard to explain, especially if you've never lived in Hawaii, but for those that have lived in Hawaii and also in other parts of the mainland, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when it comes to the pace of life and business, when you try to imagine someone living in, let's say New York versus someone that lives in Hawaii, wouldn't you think that those two people's lives would be very different? If you said yes, then yes, you are absolutely correct. They would be extremely different. And that's because, the pace of life and business and how people operate here in Hawaii is, a lot slower compared to other parts of the mainland. Again, everyone in Hawaii is just so chill. And for me, I've got to experience and witness the difference myself. I was born and raised here in Hawaii, and for college, I did 1.5 years at UC Irvine in California. And after that, I transferred to the University of Hawaii. And after comparing the two, I totally saw a big difference in the way of life in both areas. I also have many friends who were born and raised here and went away to college in places like California, Las Vegas, New York, Boston, Texas, Florida, and they all say the same thing. The way of life here in Hawaii is a lot slower. Living in Hawaii, in paradise, just seems to have this effect on people where, it kind of makes you feel like, like we can get this done a little later. I mean, you can't blame us because, why would you want to, focus on something 200% right now when the beach is right there? And believe it or not, I see nothing wrong with it. But to outsiders, they might have a problem with it. But again, from the outsiders looking in, they'll never understand it. But for us here living in Hawaii, we totally get it. It's just our way of life. And honestly, I absolutely love it. And that's pretty much for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and you got to see how I live my life as a real estate agent here in Hawaii. And speaking of living my life here in Hawaii, you'll get to see a little bit more of that in a couple of weeks. If you made it this far, I'll give you a little sneak peek teaser. A couple of weeks ago, I was actually contacted by CNBC's Make It, and they're actually gonna be featuring me in one of their YouTube videos in the Unlocked series. They actually sent a crew to come here to Hawaii and film me and interview me in my condo, and basically they just asked me a bunch of questions of the home buying process, my life as a real estate agent, and they kind of also mentioned my bad spending habits. But honestly, working with a whole film crew, it was so fun, and I'm super excited for the video, and I can't wait for it to be posted. If you haven't yet, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, follow me on all my social media platforms. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.